What is up, dudes and dudettes? It is Pip Surfer with another daily update for the Cowabunga system. Today is Tuesday, April 13th, 2010, and I have been out of town on vacation the past week, hence no updates, but I am back and ready, and I am at your service. So hopefully you've had a nice break from my voice, basically. Maybe you've had time to reflect on the system, go back in the videos and watch them and learn them. But I'm back here to resume where we left off. And so I'm just going to jump right into it. I have opened my 15-minute, my 4-hour chart. First of all, let me say that if this is your first time watching this video, click on the link right above it that says if this is your first time visiting this blog, read this first. Click that link and it'll give you the rules to the system. I encourage you, in fact, I recommend that you read that page first, get familiar with the system, and then come back and watch these videos, because I don't really talk about the specific rules to the system. These videos are more or less here to help you in the application part of it, so it's going to help you and be of more value to you if you have a good foundation of the system already. But with that said, for those of you who are regulars, I welcome you back. I missed you guys, and I am ready to continue. So anyways, I have my 15-minute, my 4-hour chart open. I'm going to open my 4-hour chart first to look at my trend. Now I'm going to zoom my chart back. Now this is what it looked like before midnight. You could see that a trend change candle had occurred, and this was at 8 p.m. the following day, or the previous day, excuse me, and RSI was below 50, stochastics trending down. So this was a valid trend change candle. Now this closes right at midnight when our trading session starts. So right at midnight we get a new trend, so we're starting our day off with a downtrend. Now if I continue to move forward, this is the 4 a.m. candle. You can see it crossed over back to the upside. RSI is above 50, stochastics have crossed up, if I zoom in a little bit there. And so that means the trend has changed again. And so once this candle closes, a new trend has formed, and in this case it's changed the trend from down to up. And so when this candle closes at 8 a.m., our trend is now up, and from this point on we're only looking for long trades. So you kind of got to shift gears here, and so after 8 a.m. Eastern time you're looking for long trades, and there's the last candle for the day. Alright, so very choppy weather as far as today goes, seeing that we had a trend change last night and then another trend change in the middle of our trading session equals a lot of range-bound movement. So again, it was a very tricky day, but we'll go through it. And now I have my 15-minute chart open, and I'm moving this back to before midnight so you can see what it looked like. Of course, before I start trading, I want to take a look at my news events for the day. And you can do that by going to babypips.com, clicking on this Tools tab, and it's going to automatically pull up the news events for the day. But just double check it to make sure that it is the correct date and that you are on the correct time zone, because technology can mess up sometimes, so it's always good to double check. But we're looking for news that affects either the UK or the US, because that's the currency pair we're trading. So I'm going to look under this currency column, and I see here that at 4:30 I have quite a few news reports for the UK. So I'm going to mark that time down because I don't want to be in the market during that time. Then if I scroll down at 8:30, I see a couple of US reports. So again, I'm going to write that time down as well. And that was pretty much the only two time frames that I wanted to be wary of, and just know that I didn't want to be in the market during those times because of the news events. Okay, so all I did is write that in a notepad. I'm old school, so you might like it on a pen and paper, or if you're high tech, you could set an alert or some kind of alarm to let you know when. This is one of these alerts on Xtick that I have. But yeah, so you can set some kind of alarm to let you know when those news events come out so that you're not in the market during those times. Alright, so I have my news events handy. I know at the start of my day I'm looking for short trades, so now I can begin my day. So what I'm going to do is move my chart forward one candle at a time and give you my thought process along the way, and hopefully the goal is to get you to start thinking how I think when it comes to trading the system. Alright, so I'm going to move my chart forward, and I am looking for the first signal would be a crossover to the downside, excuse me, the first indication, I guess. But you can see that the moving averages are already trending down, so not paying too much attention, but I do see this crossover to the upside here. This is at 115. So now I am paying closer attention to this chart because I know I have a higher probability that the moving averages could cross back down and I could have a trade. So I'm watching it very carefully, especially as you can see the price start to move down here. So I'm keeping a very close eye on it now. and here, sure enough, I do get a crossover. Now, let's see, RSI is below 50, stochastics trending down, MACD is positive from the previous candle and losing value, so technically this is a valid signal, and you would enter on here. Now, this candle is at 3:30 and closes at 3:45, which means we have only about 45 minutes until the news candle, which is at 4:30. Now, this is where some of your discretion has to come into play. If we were in a nice uptrend on the 4-hour chart, or downtrend for that matter, then I might be a little aggressive here and go ahead and take the trade, even though it's about 45 minutes, which isn't that much time until a news report. However, because we looked at the chart and we saw that choppy movement, granted at this time we've only been seeing the downtrend, so we don't see that the market's going to move back up. But we've noticed that a trend change just happened, meaning that there hasn't been an established trend at this point. So at this point I'm a little more conservative, and it kind of leaves me more hesitant to enter into a trade. So in this case, at my discretion, I am going to stay out of the market because I want to play it a little safe until I can see a better trend, a more developed trend, if you will, on the 4-hour chart, which I haven't seen at this point. So I'm not going to enter this trade. And in hindsight, this does look like a pretty good save, because at 4:30, once the news comes out, you can see the market does continue to run up. Now, this market, in this case, it could have moved down and we could have missed out on a trade. But again, sometimes it's up to your discretion, and just using my brain and being a little conservative and fitting in my trading personality, I just wanted to stay out of that one. Again, if I saw a more established trend, then I probably would have entered and been a little more aggressive, but that wasn't the case with today's market environment. All right, so just a little heads up there as to what I'm thinking during times like these. All right, so, and you don't want to force anything. Remember, there's always going to be trades in the market, so don't ever try to force anything just for the sake of making a trade. All right, and moving forward now, I'm still only looking for short trades at this point. Even though on my 4-hour chart it looks like a new trend change candle is forming, it doesn't actually confirm the trend until the candle closes. So it hasn't closed at this point, so I'm still only looking for short trades. Now here's 7:30, 7:45. Now when this candle closes, I've looked at my 4-hour chart and I do see that a new trend change candle has formed. Now the trend is confirmed and it is changed from down to up. Now the trend is up, and at this point I'm shifting gears and I'm only looking for long trades at this point. All right, so I'm only looking for long trades. News candle happens and we're continuing to move forward. Okay, there's a crossover to the short side, so now I'm paying a little closer attention because maybe the price might shoot back up. And at this point it's not happening. It's 11:45 and there's the end of our trading session. So again, the market didn't move back up. So for me today, there were no trades. You might have gotten into that one trade earlier, and it would have been a loss, or actually it wouldn't have been. You probably would have just closed out before the news, hopefully, and taken a small loss there. But again, not everything is set in stone. Rules are sometimes made to be broken, especially with trading. Because if you could just set robots to do everything, not saying anything there's wrong with robots. I've seen pretty successful ones, I guess, but for me, I like to be in control and use my brain on certain aspects, and so that was my thought process along today's particular market environment and what the market was giving me. So again, if you have any questions about today is probably a good day to ask questions because there's a lot of things going on, but even with no trades, there's still a lot of stuff moving and a lot of stuff going on. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'll try my best to answer them. Post them in the blog or post them in the forums, and I'll be sure to respond to you. So that's it for today. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all on the next update. Cowabunga, dudes.